Evening everyone, how are you all doing? I'm guessing pretty happy after that 5-0 demolition job against Crystal Palace here at St James's Park tonight. Any Newcastle fan I spoke to in the build-up to kick-off tonight, whether it was in the stack beforehand, whether it was in the lift up to the 5th floor where I went earlier, whether it was out in the streets outside, whether it was the taxi driver earlier, everyone I spoke to was a bit worried about tonight because they felt that Crystal Palace, good side, hit on the break, good attacking players. It's the sort of game Newcastle have struggled with so far this season. And I have to say I was in agreement. You know, home defeats against Bournemouth and Fulham and West Ham and Brighton in the Cup. This had all the hallmarks of a banana skin for Newcastle tonight. But wow, what a display from Jason Tyndall's side. No changes again to the team they played on Sunday. I think that's the 5th in a row, the 5th time they've named an unchanged lineup, which is massively helping. But what a display from the off. Like, right across the pitch, Newcastle were excellent tonight, and they're really hitting a purple patch at such a crucial stage of this season with Champions League in their sights. And I said tonight before the game in my lives that tonight was a huge match for Newcastle, because if you win, which you have done convincingly, it then takes the pressure off of the trip to Aston Villa on Saturday. You don't need to go and win that game. If you'd lost tonight, you would then need to beat Villa, or they would have jumped above you in the table. Whereas now you look at it, and even if Villa do win on Saturday, and I don't think they will, the way you're playing right now, but even if Villa did win on Saturday, you're still above them in the table by a couple of points. You've still got a far superior goal difference. I mean, it's incredible now you look at the goal difference. You know, you've got a better goal difference than all your competitors. Man City, Forest, Villa, Chelsea, all of them. You're only 4 points behind Arsenal, who are going to be through to or about to go through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. And you've got them in the second last game of the season. It'll be a nothing game for them. You are 4 points away from them. You might end up finishing second here. I mean, this is an incredible end to the season for Newcastle. The feel-good factor is back. That was a demolition job of Crystal Palace tonight from the start. I mean, the ironic thing is, you've won the game 5-0. Isak scored 1. He could have had 4. He could have had a hat-trick in the first half. He could have and should have had a hat-trick in the first half. He's then missed a chance. Well, he's not missed a chance because it's a brilliant save by Dean Henderson early in the second when he did everything right. And then he's finally got his name on the score sheet. So, I mean, Isak could have had 5 tonight. Could have had 5 and you won 5-0. You've only scored 1. Jacob Murphy, I mean, he's the most improved player in the Premier League. As someone messaged me, a colleague at work midway through that first half, when did Jacob Murphy become prime Lionel Messi? And he's right, phenomenal. What a strike that was. And I must say, I need to admit it again, I had him first goal scorer tonight. I had Tonali against Brentford last week. I almost put Tonali on Saturday against Man United, but I got distracted talking to someone and didn't. So annoyed because he was 22-1. Decided to opt for Jacob Murphy tonight, and he did it. Brilliant. So what a goal as well from a tight angle. Actually better than Tonali's a couple of weeks ago, because Tonali admitted afterwards he didn't mean it. Murphy clearly meant it. He looked up, saw the goalkeeper and just laced it. What a strike it was. That is a player coursing with confidence, and you could see every time he touched the ball tonight, the weight on his through balls, the vision, the one-touch stuff. That is a player playing just full of confidence just now, and you guys should really enjoy him and savour him, because what a season he's having. Like, absolutely incredible. And Harvey Barnes on the other side. I tell you what I liked about Harvey Barnes' goal tonight is he would normally always get into those positions quite frequently in matches, and you know what he's going to do? He chops in on his right and curls it into the back post, into the corner. And he's done that time and time again, to good effect, by the way. Like, you can't stop it when he does it. You literally can't stop it. But what I loved about that goal is he got it tonight. The defender knew he was going to do that, and he didn't. He just shifted it onto his left and drilled it right in off the base of the post. And I don't think the Palace defence were expecting that, because that's not what he usually does. But again, that's a player coursing with confidence, happy to take it on his left and drill it home. And for me, that's a player who's been working on his left foot. He was unwilling to use it earlier on in the season, but that is a player, one, with confidence, and two, clearly been working on that. And it was an outstanding low finish into the corner. He obviously set up the Mark Guéhi own goal. I tweeted at half time, Mark Guéhi, I think he's Newcastle's highest scoring defender this season. two goals, both for Newcastle. Ironically, Newcastle tried to sign him, as you all know, on multiple occasions last summer, only for Steve Parish to say no. So what has Mark Gehey done? He's gone out and scored own goals in both the Crystal Palace Newcastle games this season. Incredible he scored. It's just such a weird twist of fate, that. And obviously he didn't mean it, there was nothing he could do about it, but incredible that he scored 2 own goals, both for Newcastle. So has he scored more than Dan Burn? He's maybe got the same as Dan Burn. I think Fabian Schär's probably got 1 more than him, maybe 2 after his goal tonight. He scored more than Tino, he scored more than Lewis Hall. Incredible. He's only played against them twice. Let's talk about the penalty. I mean, I've watched it maybe 12 times. I don't think it was a penalty. I know he connects with his head. It was like his shoulder almost, or the under part of his arm that connected with his head. It looked to me like he got touching the ball first. Does that matter? I don't know. What is the rule? Is it the follow through? But I mean, what's a goalkeeper meant to do? A goalkeeper's going to come out. They're going to come out and wipe out, clatter everyone in front of him. They've been doing that for years, for decades, for centuries. That's what goalkeepers do. When has it become a thing that goalkeepers aren't allowed to touch a player? Normally they are allowed to have a lot more contact with players because of the nature of their game. I just thought it was a really weird penalty to give, and I thought it was even more weird that the referee looked at VAR for ages. They must have watched it about 10 times and still came to that decision. Like, it wasn't a clear and obvious error. It really wasn't. I thought it was a really, really soft award of a penalty, and if that had come back to haunt you, I think you would have had real reason for complaint there. But obviously the penalty from Eze was so poor, like really poor, and well done to Nick Pope, because obviously he'd just been booked, he'd given away the penalty, but to retain his composure and to stay up for that long when he stuttered and jittered and tried to get him to fall over, I thought was really good goalkeeping from him to manage to do that. And it was a really, really important save, an important stage in the game, because you go up the other end of the pitch, go 2-1, 2-0 up, and it's game over. Look, I know it'll be forgotten about, but it was a bad decision. I don't know how that was a penalty. I've got to say that, I don't think I'm being biased there. I just can't see how that should be a penalty. Goalkeepers need to have a bit of contact, be allowed a bit of contact in the box, and he obviously wasn't there. I think it probably helped you though. It probably got the tails up even more. Tonali is just unbelievable. This is a big statement, but I think he could be the best midfielder in the Premier League. I really do. Like, I can't see too many who are on par or better than him. I think he's better than Liverpool's midfield 3. I said that before the cup final on multiple occasions, and then I've said that after the cup final. He bossed them in the cup final. Who else is there? Declan Rice. I really rate Rice. I know a lot of people aren't so sure. I really rate him. I think Tonali's probably on his level, if not marginally better. Rodri's obviously, I think Rodri's the number 1 centre midfield in the Premier League. He's obviously unfit at the moment, but in terms of a holding midfielder, he's on a different level. But what I like about Tonali, he's a holding midfielder who gets forward. Another assist tonight, he had a couple of pops at goal. We saw what he did against Manchester United on Sunday. We saw that run in the dying embers of the game against Manchester United, and he took it right up into the corner there to win a throw in, and I think he out sprinted 2 or 3 Manchester United players with the ball in his possession. He's an incredible athlete, and he's so chilled and laid back. And Newcastle have won a watch with him. I know he cost a lot of money, 55 million, but God, what is he worth now? What is he worth now? Double that. He's an incredible footballer, an absolutely incredible footballer. And that assist for the Harvey Barnes one, where he kind of looked over his shoulder, knew where he was, and didn't just sort of hack it over to him, like just sprayed it right into his path. Was phenomenal. He's getting better and better every game, and I've also noticed that Jason Tindall keeps him on all the time. Earlier in the season he was coming off a lot, they couldn't find the right position, but since he's been put into that number 6 role, he's just gone from strength to strength, and I like the fact that he's always kept on. It's like he's a linchpin of the midfield now, and I just think it was great tonight. His range of passing, he doesn't think about it, he's so quick, like thinking, the way he just sprays the ball around. And that is why Barnes and Murphy, I think, are playing so well. When you've got someone like him behind, ably assisted by Joe Linton and Bruno as well, by the way, when you've got midfield 3 like that, with Tonali in there just bossing it, it just gives them a platform to go and play, and gives them confidence that they know they've got 3 top midfielders in behind them. Yeah, just as I'm talking there, I've just noticed a tweet there from the club just flash up on my phone. 6 wins in a row. 6 wins in a row. That's incredible. Going into that West Ham game, things weren't looking good. After that Brighton game, it felt like the end of the world. I remember seeing Eddie Howe that night and Jason Tyndall at the North East Sports Writers Awards, and I think they were like, wow, what have we done to deserve this? Like, got Anthony Gordon suspended, out the FA Cup. It felt like the end of the world, but wow, what a turnaround. What a turnaround. Let's talk about Jason Tyndall. I've not heard what he's had to say yet, so it'll be interesting to hear if there is an update on Eddie Howe. But wow, the players are playing for him. And what I like about that tonight is Eddie now, he doesn't need to feel he needs to rush back. Like, it just gives him, it makes it more easy for him and more comfortable that he can just concentrate on himself and his recovery and not feel he needs to rush back because the team are doing so well without him and clearly playing for him. And I just think it's a huge result tonight because the overall picture now, you're up to third, you're 4 points behind Arsenal, you're safely in that top 5, and even if you were to lose to Villa on Saturday, which I don't think you will the way you're playing, even if you were to lose to them, it's not the end of the world. You're then going to beat Ipswich the following week and you're right up there. You'll beat Chelsea at home, I've already mentioned Arsenal away, Everton at home in the last games, and you should win that. There's a lot of winnable games. I mean, you could actually go and win all of those, to be honest, the way you're playing at the moment. Sorry, that was a bit of an abrupt cut off there. I had to go and I was getting asked to go and see, to go in for the press conference to speak to Jason Tyndall, and also I did an interview with Jacob Murphy there. Murphy just absolutely buzzing with the performance. Just said he's loving every minute of the form that they're in, and they feel like in the dressing room they want to do it for the manager right now. Jason doesn't have an update at all from Eddie. He just said he has had a message from him, very similar to Saturday, but sort of minimal contact again. So not much more to add, guys, other than that was an absolute doing. Jason Tyndall's Mad Dog Mags, absolutely flying. And Barnes, Murphy, Tonali, Fabian Schär, Tyndall, you guys fly in. Should wrap up Champions League soon if you play like that. You can now go to Villa Park with freedom on Saturday, absolute freedom to go there, and a point would be great, a win would be amazing, but just don't get beat. Even if you do get beat, it's not the end of the world. You'll beat Ipswich the next week. But those players will just be desperate to get back out and play. And what I liked about tonight is you saved Joe Linton from getting booked or sent off, so he's available. Rested up the likes of Isak and Bruno, brought them off early, got minutes into the legs of Gordon, etc. and Wilson and Longstaff, and you still won 5-0. The goal difference is phenomenal. And all looking good, a crucial stage of the season. Champions League, here you come. I would be very surprised if Newcastle slip up from now on. It looks to me like you guys are going to be going to Europe next season. Okay guys, leave your comments below, subscribe if you haven't done already, and I'll see you on Friday. Cheers.